Live from the Crown Palladium, please welcome one of the game's greatest leaders and dual premiership captain, Tom Harley.
Jim Stynes was one of our most admired Brownlow medalists, truly an icon of the game. Jim was also a revered leader of the community through his tireless, generous and dedicated work, helping to make a genuine difference to the lives of others. To put it simply, Jim Stynes was and continues to be an inspiration. It was Jim's incredible contribution to the community that inspired the AFL, together with his beloved Reach Foundation, to introduce the Jim Stynes Community Leadership Award. Here are this year's nominees.
Geelong midfielder Matthew Stokes is a driver for the health education program Deadly Choices, a campaign that seeks to raise awareness and address health issues amongst young Aboriginals, and continues to act as a mentor to young Aboriginal people in the local Geelong community. Carlton Vice-Captain Kate Simpson has worked tirelessly to raise awareness for Down Syndrome Victoria. As a result, Kate raised more than $30,000 for Down Syndrome Victoria before becoming an official ambassador for the organisation. Cade also maintains a commitment to the Royal Children's Hospital through regular monthly visits. Port Adelaide captain Travis Boak is a dedicated ambassador for the Childhood Cancer Association, working directly with cancer patients at the Women's and Children's Hospital. Travis continues to make a huge contribution to the organisation through supporting people with cancer. West Coast Eagles defender Beau Waters has donated considerable time and energy with his role as an ambassador for the Cancer Council WA. Over the past decade, Beau has been the catalyst for the West Coast Eagles, raising almost $1 million for cancer research that supports vulnerable young people in WA by offering a range of health services. He's also an inaugural committee member of the Young Men's Project Committee, a regular camp quality volunteer, and a fundraiser and committee member of the WA Healthy Awards, which is overseen by Healthways WA.
To present the Jim Stynes Community Leadership Award, please make welcome Sam Ludby-Stynes.
As we have just seen, Australian football has the capacity to be a powerful voice in the community. And by taking on the roles of leadership and by helping others, many AFL players indeed are making a difference. All 4 players nominated tonight are duly recognised for demonstrating leadership throughout the community and displaying the values we so often identified with Jim in his commitment to helping others. Congratulations to each of them. It gives me great pleasure to announce that the winner of the 2014 Jim Stynes Community Leadership Award, including a $20,000 donation for the charity or community program of his choice, is Beau Waters.
Well, Beau, congratulations. No doubt a massive honour to win this award tonight.
Yeah, look, Jim was revered in the community for his footballing ability, but he also connected society in the AFL game, and I think that's integral to what we're all about. You know, I need to acknowledge the AFL and the AFL clubs for their work that they do within the community. Their grassroots programs and community engagement programs are what AFL football is all about, and without the community, Australia's game is just another sport battling for market share. So thank you to all the players. I'm sure that there's not a player in the room that hasn't donated their time in some way, shape or form. So it's a, you know, I commend everybody in the room, and there's many people that could have been the recipient of this award, but it's a great honour. Special thanks to my wife, who's done a lot of it with me. I think everyone would agree I'm batting well above my average, so locked her down at an early age. And so, Hannah, thank you very much, and have a good night. Good luck to the contenders.
Ladies and gentlemen, congratulate Beau Waters and also thank Sam Ludby-Stynes.
Good on you, Tom. So, Bo doing some great work off the field. He's had a couple of tough years on the field with injury. So let's check the leaderboard after the first 12 rounds. At halfway, Gary Ablett, twice a Brownlow medalist, leads by 4 from Paddy Dangerfield and Josh Kennedy. Trav Boak is within 6 along with Boomer Harvey. So speaking of the Selwoods, because Joel's not too far away, Scotty Selwood takes us through round 13.
Round 13 was a special one for my Eagles as club legend Darren Glass was farewelled on a memorable night. While elsewhere, there were some thrilling finishes with 4 games decided by less than 10 points. Kicking the Swans' last 5 goals,
He's unstoppable!
including a bomb measured at 68 metres, Lance Franklin sent the commentators into a frenzy.
Get him a longer contract!
The Dogs upset the Pies and Jeremy McGovern had a late match winner.
McGovern somehow squeezed it in!
Making for a special night for our captain, Darren Glass. But it was a send-off of a different kind.
Oh, Brownie.
After another concussion brought Brownie's career to a close. Eddie Betts confirmed his status as a new Crows fan favourite.
That is just ridiculous.
While the Deags faithful bowed to their new messiah, after Roosie's boys pulled off a last-minute miracle.
The Paul Roos resurrection before your eyes.
Round 13, Collingwood versus Western Bulldogs. Western Bulldogs T. Liberatore 1 vote. Western Bulldogs L. Jones 2 votes. Collingwood T. Cloak 3 votes. Essendon v Melbourne. Melbourne N. Jones 1 vote. Essendon D. Zaharakis 2 votes. Melbourne L. Dunn 3 votes. Brisbane v GWS. GWS T. Scully 1 vote. GWS L. Whitfield 2 votes. GWS C. Ward 3 votes. Carlton v Hawthorn. Carlton A. Carazzo 1 vote. Hawthorn B. Hill 2 votes. Hawthorn B. Sewell 3 votes. Geelong v St Kilda. Geelong M. Duncan 1 vote. Geelong J. Bartell 2 votes. Geelong M. Stokes 3 votes. Sydney v Port Adelaide. Sydney R. Shaw 1 vote. Port Adelaide B. Ebert 2 votes. Sydney L. Franklin 3 votes. Adelaide v North Melbourne. Adelaide E. Betts 1 vote. Adelaide B. Smith 2 votes. North Melbourne B. Harvey 3 votes. Richmond v Fremantle. Fremantle M. Barlow 1 vote. Fremantle H. Ballantyne 2 votes. Fremantle N. Fife 3 votes. West Coast v Gold Coast. West Coast M. Prittis 1 vote. Gold Coast D. Prestia 2 votes. West Coast J. Kennedy 3 votes.
So we get to the end of round 13 and no change at the top with Gary Ablett. We know the Boomers ineligible along with Nat Fyfe. Great Callum Ward, the first time that a Giant has got to double figures in the Brownlow medal. So a little bit there for our new team. And the viewer vote, you can see what's happening right there. And still to come, it's the great number 32, Tim Watson. He's going to join us to announce this year's Life Broker Mark of the Year.
Thomas, yes! Oh, that's a screamer! Oh, Ruffy! Just plucked it, didn't he, Ruffy? Oh, Armitage! Oh, wow! He's done it again! Pure blow! The little man, higher for longer! Shots! Oh, huge! Everything he does is huge! Elliott! Stanger from the side of the back over the top. Casbolt. In guard! Oh, baby! There's your Mark of the Year!
I love to keep an eye on the umpires. I'm a huge fan of their work and the way they put themselves in the line of fire. Have a look, here's an example. Ray Chamberlain. Now, I'm not quite sure what happens here, but gee.
Touch soft, mate? Yeah.
Soft, but not as soft as our own PM, who went to the SCG recently. And have a look at these three.
Is that a onesie?
Imagine being under a blanket with Richo and Alan Jones.
Absolutely freezing there.
Yes.
Not many highlights though, Mick, at the Oval.
It was a bit, but here's my highlight. Have a look at this guy. I don't know if he's thought through his business plan. He's freezing at Canberra, he's selling ice cream. I'm thinking about maybe after this he's off to Mount Buller. My favourite commentator right now has to be Barry Hall. And I have to say, I was sceptical. I didn't think he could make the transition from hard man to media personality. Gentle giant he is. And, well, the transformation is complete. I'm going to stab you with a blunt knife. OK, look, probably that wasn't the best bit to show it. Do you know, I think you've already made your decision about coaching, Lingy, because earlier tonight we saw this in the Geelong coaches box, and it just said the crowd was a real factor. They got behind him.
Well, they love him. They love him.
Well, I know one who doesn't. There was one little kid in the crowd. This guy, look at him, dirty up here. Harden up, Pumpkinhead. I've got to show you some footage, guys, of Mark Jamar. I want you to tell me what's he thinking here. What is that? The big rush. Why he's stressed. Oh, it's just dawned on him he plays for Melbourne.
He does.
It was great news that Judd has re-signed to go around again. That's fantastic because he's going to do another lap, and we're going to get to see all those great skills on display. Not playing today. Dodging the Tigers.
Well done, Mick. Some brilliant stuff there on the Saturday night pre-game show. Well, I've got the Hawthorn star, All-Australian Jordan Lewis here with me. And, Louis, everybody wants to know is, how's the leg? How's the corky?
Yeah, leg's really good. I'm a bit embarrassed there's been so much commentary about a corked leg, but I suppose there was no other stories that came out of the game, so this is the one they dragged on, but hopefully train tomorrow, if not Thursday.
The boys reckon that you requested an extra chair so you could put it up here and just ice it up throughout the whole night. Any truth to that?
No, that's incorrect.
Who do you reckon wins tonight? Ablett's obviously well out in front. Do you reckon anyone chases him down?
I think Selwood seems to be the pick tonight. I think he's obviously had a strong start to the year, but I think his end to the year is really good as well. So, yeah, I think it'll be a tight finish.
Really appreciate your time, mate. Good luck on Saturday. Enjoy the rest of the night.
No worries.
Thanks,
Thank
mate.
you. Thanks, mate.
Round 14 was a good one for the competition's two youngest clubs. The Suns had their first win over the Cats, while my Giants enjoyed back-to-back wins for the first time. The Giants celebrated an upset win over the Blues, while the Hawks win over the Pies upset Nathan Buckley.
Oh, Bucks firing up on the bench.
Inspired by the World Cup in Brazil, they bent it like Beckham.
Oh, that's good for footy.
Although Ben Howlett's Goal of the Year contender didn't come without controversy.
Has yet to be recalled. It was a point.
With some help from the Phantom, the Eagles beat the Saints. And the Suns donned their superhero undies to outmuscle the Cats, who were in no mood for advice. After Harley Bennell equalled a club record of 6 goals in a match.
That is huge. That's not icing. That's caviar.
Round 14, Melbourne v North Melbourne. North Melbourne L Greenwood 1 vote. North Melbourne S Thompson 2 votes. Melbourne B Vince 3 votes. GWS v Carlton. Carlton M Robinson 1 vote. GWS S Mumford 2 votes. GWS C Ward 3 votes. Hawthorn v Collingwood. Collingwood S Pendlebury 1 vote. Hawthorn B Sewell 2 votes. Hawthorn L Brust 3 votes. Port Adelaide v Western Bulldogs. Port Adelaide J Westhoff 1 vote. Port Adelaide T Boak 2 votes. Port Adelaide J Schultz 3 votes. Essendon v Adelaide. Essendon D Heppel 1 vote. Essendon B Goddard 2 votes. Adelaide S Thompson 3 votes. Richmond v Sydney. Richmond D Martin 1 vote. Richmond T Cochin 2 votes. Sydney L Franklin 3 votes. St Kilda v West Coast. St Kilda J Billings 1 vote. West Coast M Prittis 2 votes. West Coast M Rosa 3 votes. Fremantle v Brisbane. Brisbane T Rockcliffe 1 vote. Fremantle D Mundy 2 votes. Fremantle M Barlow 3 votes. Gold Coast v Geelong. Gold Coast S May 1 vote. Gold Coast G Ablett 2 votes. Gold Coast H Bennell 3 votes.
Round 15 was a good one for my Tigers, who enjoyed a 7-goal win over the Saints, while around the country there were some thrilling clashes between some of the game's biggest rivals. The Dockers won Western bragging rights.
Every derby has a moment.
The Crows caused a showdown upset.
Eddie! Oh, it's his field of dreams.
And the Swans KO'd Little Brother. It was a dream farewell game for Jonathan Brown, as an inspired Lions win
The big man's got what he wanted.
saw emotions bubble over after the side.
A win like that for our groups.
No worries.
Some Stephen Motlop magic brought the Bombers down.
Motlop again, yes!
And Sam Gray made his mark.
Oh,
While while Marcus Bontempelli had a contender that was also a match winner.
Bontempelli! If that doesn't get you off the couch at home, nothing will! What a goal!
Round 15, Western Bulldogs v Melbourne. Melbourne, J. Howe, 1 vote. Melbourne, M. Jamar, 2 votes. Western Bulldogs, M. Bontempelli, 3 votes. Brisbane v North Melbourne. North Melbourne, S. Gibson, 1 vote. Brisbane, D. Zorko, 2 votes. Brisbane, P. Hanley, 3 votes. Collingwood v Carlton. Carlton, C. Yarran, 1 vote. Collingwood, S. Pendlebury, 2 votes. Collingwood, S. Sidebottom, 3 votes. Adelaide v Port Adelaide. Adelaide, P. Dangerfield, 1 vote. Adelaide, S. Thompson, 2 votes. Adelaide, S. Jacobs, 3 votes. St Kilda v Richmond. Richmond, A. Rance, 1 vote. Richmond, B. Ellis, 2 votes. Richmond, T. Cochin, 3 votes. Fremantle v West Coast. West Coast, E. Mackenzie, 1 vote. Fremantle, N. Fife, 2 votes. Fremantle, S. Hill, 3 votes. Sydney v GWS. Sydney, K. Jack, 1 vote. Sydney, L. Franklin, 2 votes. Sydney, J. Kennedy, 3 votes. Geelong v Essendon. Geelong, S. Motlop, 1 vote. Geelong, J. Selwood, 2 votes. Essendon, D. Heppel, 3 votes. Hawthorn v Gold Coast. Hawthorn, J. Lewis, 1 vote. Gold Coast, G. Ablett, 2 votes. Hawthorn, L. Hodge, 3 votes.
So for Gary, is 22 going to be enough? I mean, for the 8th time in a row, Gary Ablett now has had 20 votes in the Brownlow Medal, which is an all-time record, by so far doesn't matter. But we have come to the line in the sand now for him. So Gary at 22, and the challenge is coming from the Swans with Josh Kennedy and Lance Franklin. So that leaderboard, it's Ablett, Kennedy, Dangerfield, Franklin, and of course Boomer Harvey. Time now to introduce AFL Hall of Famer Kevin Sheedy, who has a special tribute to a couple of very dear friends. It's over to you, Sheeds.
Thanks, Bruce. It's a great opportunity here to honour 2 of our coaches that have passed away in the last 12 months. First coach, a player that I was very fortunate to meet in his career, in Dean Bailey, passed away at 47 years of age. And of course, left 2 boys, and Karen, his wife. Dean was a fantastic player for us at Essendon. He found it difficult to beat Tim Watson, Leon Baker and Merv Nagel. Right in the middle of his career, he had to cope with James Hird, Sean Denham, Mark McCurry, and it was a very tough playing career for him. But he would become an excellent coach for the Bombers. He was my assistant coach in our premiership year, 2000. And of course, he went over to Port Adelaide and helped Mark Williams have an opportunity to win Port Adelaide's first ever premiership. Saw Dean last, believe it or not, in London last year at a coaches' conference in London. Seemed pretty healthy, and of course, within 6 months, he was not with us. So, to Darcy and Mitchell, I lost my father about the same age, and you've got a lot of tape, and I'll find some for you of your father playing. He's a marvellous guy, very caring father, and good luck with your life. I fortunately met a mentor as soon as my father died, in Tom Hafey, and in Tom, he was a marvellous person for all of us at Richmond. He reached about 9 or 10 grand finals in his first 16 years. He was a sensational coach, but other than that, he is a wonderful person, magnificent mentor for all of the people at Richmond, and I think in the end, the tribute in the end, very close to the latter years of his life. He gave most of his life to going around schools, teaching young people about their fitness, their health, and their attitude towards their own life. Really reflected on no drinking, no smoking, no drugs, and of course we all loved him. Most of the people here in the AFL knew his career, what he was like, and I think that to Maureen and the girls, well, he's a father to me, and I loved him. Thank you.
O'Donnell to Bailey. Here's a chance. Bailey can attack. Long way out. Times it magnificently. It rolls through. It's a Rossi.
When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. And when I go
Boys,
out,
just keep running and running and running.
yeah, I know
The game is turning our way.
An
extraordinary day in the journey.
And when I come home,
Kevin,
yeah, I know
fair dinkum, mate. You've got to put your boot into the ball. You're too slow to do all this finessing. Bloody back pocket plumber. That's what I want. You see the bloody straight. Get your boot to the damn thing.
I'm gonna dream about the time when I'm with you.
You ever had a beer, Tom?
No, I've never tasted
Never felt like celebrating all those premierships?
I don't think you need it, to be quite honest, and I often smile to myself and think, why would you need it? Have you ever had a cup of tea? Couldn't compare. You couldn't compare any of those other drinks with a cup of tea, mate. I can tell you now. Yeah, get with it.
Talk your damn head off. Get across and use your bloody body. Look at that word there. Bloody aggressive. How many years have been aggressive so
When
far?
I wake up, well, I hope I'm gonna be the man who's waking up to you. And when I'm dreaming, well, I know
Nothing more tigerish than a bloody tiger. A wounded tiger.
Starcevic.
Good kick.
Look out! Oh, Revo, remarkable. Walker's got the sit here. How did he do that?
There are many things that set our sport apart from the rest, but none more so than the mark. It's the highlight of our game, and nothing gets the fans more excited than a great specky. We've seen some truly magnificent marks this year. Let's take a look at the top 3 nominations for the Life Broker Mark of the Year.
Mark 1, Jamie Elliott, Collingwood.
Beams a high centering ball. Bartel. Elliott went early. The contact helped him stay up. And cleverly done.
Chad Wingard, Port Adelaide.
Wines is working for him. He goes longer. Wingard! Oh, baby! Oh, there's your mark of the year. I'll tell you what.
You can see that coming from a mile away.
Levi Casbolt, Carlton.
Sends it back inside the forward 50. Spanger from the side of the pack over the top. Casbolt.
He's got good hands, Casbolt.
Oh, sticky.
Oh, yeah.
But that is a ripping mark.
Well, there's been some great aerial work in 2014. It's my pleasure now to announce that the winner of the 2014 Life Broker Mark of the Year is Port Adelaide's Chad Wingard.
Wingard! Oh, baby! Oh, there's your mark of the year. I'll tell you what.
You can see that coming from a mile away.
Chad, congratulations. What can you tell us about that mark? What do you remember most about that particular night?
I just remember being a bit flat after I took the mark with the bloke because he grabbed my leg, so... But no, it was just a bit of luck, I suppose, yeah.
Are you aware, Bruce McAvaney told me before, and Bruce knows most things, he said that you actually just give your hair a little bit of a wipe before you go for each of these marks. Is that right?
I got a bit of flat for that from a few of the boys, but I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, I won't do that again, that's for sure.
No, feel free to do that again. Have you practiced, or did you do a lot of that sort of marking work in the backyard when you were a kid?
Nah, definitely not, mate. I think it was just a once-off bit of a fluke, so just lucky I plucked it, I suppose.
So close to getting into the grand final this weekend on Saturday. I guess what you need to do now as a group is regroup again over the summer months, and I guess everybody in the room would probably think that Port Adelaide's capable of making it back and not only making the grand final but possibly winning the grand final next year.
Yeah, like I said, Hawthorn is such a great side, and we're trying to set that standard that we want to play finals and get deeper and deeper. So the boys were obviously, it's a pretty tough weekend, but we're just going to get better, bigger and stronger.
Good luck next year, and please, everybody, put your hands together again and congratulate Mark of the Year, Chad Wingard.
Chad, great stuff, Chad, and your Port Adelaide have won Mark of the Year and Goal of the Year, and the last time that was done was the Brisbane Lions in 2002, and they were going through a pretty good stage in 2002. So well done to the Port Adelaide Footy Club tonight with both the mark and the Goal of the Year. A chance to check for a moment on round 15. Now, 22 is a magic figure. That's what Roo, Goodsey and Bucks got when they were three-way tie, but only once in the last 10 years has 22 been enough to win the Brownlow Medal. So once in the last decade has 22 been enough. So we're about to come to that fateful round. So what do you think at home? Does Gary have enough? Has he got a big enough lead over Josh Kennedy and those that are pursuing him? Let us know through the Toyota viewer vote. Time now to have a look at round 16, and let's go to the Carlton captain.
Round 16 saw the Swans jump the Hawks and the Power to go to the top of the AFL ladder. It was also a Brownlow game changer, with Scott Pendlebury replacing the wind Gary Ablett as the new Brownlow favourite. It was the moment that sent shockwaves around the footy world.
He's popped the shoulder out at the moment.
As a dislocated shoulder put Gary Ablett's season on ice.
That's a serious shoulder injury.
For the Pies, it was the one that got away.
Look at that.
As the young Suns claimed another big scalp.
This is off the scale. Biggest win ever, Gold Coast.
In a week of upsets, the Roos beat the Hawks, and the Power Army was silenced by the Bombers.
Bombers have won.
My Blues were in a take no prisoner move. As Carlton had a big win over St Kilda. While Brian Lake's 4-week suspension was big news right around the world.
Player Brian Lake then tried to strangle Drew Petrie.
Even if they weren't exactly sure what sport they were talking about.
Rugby can be a tough game, but not that tough.
Round 16, North Melbourne v Hawthorn. North Melbourne, A. Swallow, 1 vote. Hawthorn, J. Gunston, 2 votes. North Melbourne, N. Del Santo, 3 votes. Richmond v Brisbane. Richmond, T. Vickery, 1 vote. Brisbane, T. Rockcliffe, 2 votes. Richmond, B. Ellis, 3 votes. GWS v Adelaide. Adelaide, E. Betts, 1 vote. Adelaide, R. Sloan, 2 votes. Adelaide, J. Podsiadly, 3 votes. Gold Coast v Collingwood. Collingwood, S. Pendlebury, 1 vote. Gold Coast, S. Day, 2 votes. Gold Coast, D. Swallow, 3 votes. Port Adelaide v Essendon. Essendon, D. Myers, 1 vote. Port Adelaide, R. Gray, 2 votes. Essendon, D. Zaharakis, 3 votes. Carlton v St Kilda. Carlton, L. Henderson, 1 vote. Carlton, S. White, 2 votes. Carlton, A. Everett, 3 votes. West Coast v Sydney. West Coast, M. Prittis, 1 vote. Sydney, B. McGlynn, 2 votes. Sydney, L. Parker, 3 votes. Melbourne v Fremantle. Fremantle, L. Neal, 1 vote. Fremantle, M. Barlow, 2 votes. Fremantle, N. Fife, 3 votes. Geelong v Western Bulldogs. Western Bulldogs, M. Pontepelli, 1 vote. Western Bulldogs, R. Griffin, 2 votes. Geelong, S. Johnson, 3 votes.
Leader here, 2-time Brownlow medalist Gary Ablett, thank you for joining us. Can you hold on? What now? 5 votes out in front. Is that enough?
I don't think so. I think Kennedy will come home strong. Obviously, he misses the last 3, but he plays some pretty good footy in the next couple of rounds. And I still think Joel will come home strong. I'm hoping he can get up there, so we'll see what happens.
You reckon Selwood's the man? He can come home? He's a bit back at the moment.
He is, but he does finish off the season very well, so I still think he's a big chance.
What about Buddy? Buddy's got 2 big games there, 2 ticks on the predictor. Can he get over the top of you?
How many votes is he on at the moment?
I probably should have checked that, but I reckon it was about 15.
Oh, yeah, he'll probably be very, very close then.
Well, enjoy it, mate. Good luck for the rest of the count. Fingers crossed. Well done, guys.
In round 17, the Swannies made it 12 straight with a 71-point win over the Blues.
Buddy booted 5 third-quarter goals and 41 disposals from Josh Kennedy, made him the new Brownlow Medal favourite. Teenager Jack McRae became the youngest player into the 40-possession club, as the Suns' first game without Gaz ended with a loss to the Dogs. Adelaide Oval Siren Gate had a sequel. Time! After Ray Chamberlain caught a premature end to the quarter. The Bombers jumped into the 8.
That's a clever kick.
As a 64-point blitz left the Magpies stunned. Troy Chaplin had a message for his former Port pals, while Matt White showed his old Tiger teammates a clean pair of heels with a coast-to-coast contender.
Round 17, Essendon v Collingwood. Essendon B Stanton 1 vote. Essendon C Hooker 2 votes. Essendon J Carlisle 3 votes. Western Bulldogs v Gold Coast. Western Bulldogs W Minson 1 vote. Western Bulldogs N Rovat 2 votes. Western Bulldogs J McRae 3 votes. North Melbourne v St Kilda. North Melbourne B Cunnington 1 vote. North Melbourne S Wright 2 votes. North Melbourne T Goldstein 3 votes. Melbourne v Geelong. Geelong H Taylor 1 vote. Geelong S Johnson 2 votes. Geelong J Selwood 3 votes. Brisbane v West Coast. Brisbane S Martin 1 vote. West Coast M Prittis 2 votes. West Coast L Shuey 3 votes. Richmond v Port Adelaide. Richmond T Cotchin 1 vote. Richmond A Miles 2 votes. Port Adelaide T Boak 3 votes. Adelaide v Hawthorn. Hawthorn J Simpkin 1 vote. Hawthorn L Hodge 2 votes. Adelaide P Dangerfield 3 votes. Fremantle v GWS. Fremantle T Mzungu 1 vote. Fremantle H Ballantyne 2 votes. Fremantle N Fife 3 votes. Sydney v Carlton. Sydney J McVeigh 1 vote. Sydney L Franklin 2 votes. Sydney J Kennedy 3 votes.
Gee, what an extraordinary round that turned out to be. I mean, so many changes and so many people starting to close in on Gary Ablett. We asked a moment ago, what does the viewer poll feel? Well, there's coming down a bit, Gaz, but you've still got 63%, 65%. Josh could hardly believe himself up in Sydney. There are 6 rounds to go. How exciting is this? The 2014 Brownlow Medal.
Split over 2 weeks, round 18 was a nightmare for tipping comps. The Blues surprised the Roos, the Lions defied their 17th placing to upset the Suns, while my Saints claimed a big top 4 scalp. It was a good-looking scoreboard. After the Saints broke an 11-game losing run with a 10-goal win over the Dockers.
Unbelievable scenes here at Etihad.
The Lions claimed Q-Clash bragging rights, while the late Jay Schultz goal sent Dom Cassisi out a winner. It wasn't such a memorable night for Dean Cox, as the restless West Coast natives zeroed in on Ty Vickery. Buddy received plenty of advice.
Oh, he's into bud. That's what we like.
In one of the matches of the season, as the Hawks beat the Swans in a thriller.
He said, "You're Laidler, and I'm Puopolo."
This slippery invader quickly became a fan favourite, while fittingly, in multicultural round, Chinese footy fans found a new cult hero.
Round 18, Carlton v North Melbourne. Carlton B Gibbs 1 vote. Carlton J Waite 2 votes. Carlton L Henderson 3 votes. St Kilda v Fremantle. St Kilda L Montagna 1 vote. St Kilda R Stanley 2 votes. St Kilda N Rewalt 3 votes. Western Bulldogs v Essendon. Essendon P Ryder 1 vote. Western Bulldogs J McRae 2 votes. Essendon J Carlisle 3 votes. Brisbane v Gold Coast. Brisbane D Zorko 1 vote. Brisbane T Rockcliffe 2 votes. Brisbane P Hanley 3 votes. Port Adelaide v Melbourne. Melbourne N Jones 1 vote. Port Adelaide O Wines 2 votes. Melbourne D Tyson 3 votes. Hawthorn v Sydney. Hawthorn S Mitchell 1 vote. Hawthorn J Roughhead 2 votes. Sydney B McGlynn 3 votes. GWS v Geelong. Geelong J Selwood 1 vote. Geelong H Taylor 2 votes. Geelong S Johnson 3 votes. West Coast v Richmond. Richmond B. Deledio, 1 vote. Richmond D. Martin, 2 votes. West Coast M. Prittis, 3 votes. Collingwood v Adelaide. Adelaide B. Smith, 1 vote. Collingwood D. Beams, 2 votes. Adelaide P. Dangerfield, 3 votes.
In round 19, the race for the 8 got even hotter. A big win over the Saints saw my Suns jump into the 8. For a night anyway, as the Pies reclaimed 8th spot with a narrow win over the Power. The Eagles got over the line.
And Kennedy, right on the line.
As the Crows hit a wall.
Ground thud.
While the Roos run to the finals took a dive.
He did a bloody nosedive.
The Swans again impressed commentators.
Brilliant, Glenn.
But it's fair to say the Sydney media had little interest in Bomber.
It might have grown by now, the game.
The Pies honoured a retiring favourite with a 6-point win over the Power.
Huge roar from the Collingwood faithful.
While the People's champ Jake King was honoured in his own unique way.
The man of the people, isn't he? Oh, he's having a beer.
Round 19, Melbourne v Brisbane. Brisbane R. Buick, 1 vote. Melbourne N. Jones, 2 votes. Brisbane S. Martin, 3 votes. Gold Coast v St Kilda. St Kilda L. Hayes, 1 vote. Gold Coast H. Pennell, 2 votes. Gold Coast D. Prestia, 3 votes. Hawthorn v Western Bulldogs. Hawthorn J. Lewis, 1 vote. Hawthorn L. Shields, 2 votes. Hawthorn J. Roughhead, 3 votes. Richmond v GWS. Richmond T. Cochin, 1 vote. Richmond B. Deledio, 2 votes. Richmond B. Ellis, 3 votes. Collingwood v Port Adelaide. Collingwood S. Sidebottom, 1 vote. Port Adelaide H. Hartlett, 2 votes. Collingwood D. Beams, 3 votes. North Melbourne v Geelong. Geelong A. Christensen, 1 vote. Geelong J. Selwood, 2 votes. Geelong M. Duncan, 3 votes. Sydney v Essendon. Essendon M. Hurley, 1 vote. Sydney B. McGlynn, 2 votes. Sydney L. Parker, 3 votes. Adelaide v West Coast. West Coast M. Prittis, 1 vote. West Coast J. Kennedy, 2 votes. West Coast A. Gaff, 3 votes. Fremantle v Carlton. Carlton C. Judd, 1 vote. Carlton K. Simpson, 2 votes. Fremantle N. Fife, 3 votes.
Oh, so first vote for Juddy tonight, but is at the other end that we're looking at, isn't it? Nat Fife, we know he's ineligible. He is the first, or the second docker to have 20 votes, but no one's had 23 from Fremantle ever. But if we have to take Nat off, which we do, it's Gary Ablett leading Paddy Dangerfield, Matt Prittis, who's got a Sandover medal in the bag, and Josh Kennedy. So it is oh so close. Can Ablett win a third? Well, he's hanging on from Dangerfield and Prittis and Kennedy with 4 rounds to go in what's turning out to be a remarkable 2014 Brownlow count.
Round 20 was a good one for my Dogs, who enjoyed a 4-goal win over the Saints. Elsewhere, a number of upsets spiced up the race to the finals. The Blues blitzed the Suns. And the Tigers made it 6 straight with a win over the Bombers.
They're still alive!
While the Pies were tripped up in Perth and knocked out of the 8 by the Eagles, having failed not once, but twice.
Well, I can't say you're kidding. Are you kidding?
Michael Ferretto refused to be beaten. Stevie J caught up with an old friend as another classic Cats and Dockers clash went down to the wire.
4 seconds, do not play on.
Leaving David Mundy with a shot at glory after the siren.
Geelong win. Goodness gracious me.
Round 20. Carlton v Gold Coast. Carlton T. Bell, 1 vote. Carlton J. Waite, 2 votes. Carlton C. Judd, 3 votes. GWS v North Melbourne. North Melbourne R. Bastanak, 1 vote. North Melbourne D. Petrie, 2 votes. North Melbourne B. Cunnington, 3 votes. Hawthorn v Melbourne. Hawthorn J. Roughhead, 1 vote. Hawthorn L. Shields, 2 votes. Hawthorn J. Lewis, 3 votes. Richmond v Essendon. Richmond A. Miles, 1 vote. Richmond T. Cochin, 2 votes. Essendon D. Heppel, 3 votes. St Kilda v Western Bulldogs. St Kilda J. Gwilt, 1 vote. Western Bulldogs S. Crameri, 2 votes. Western Bulldogs A. Cooney, 3 votes. Brisbane v Adelaide. Adelaide S Jacobs 1 vote. Adelaide T Walker 2 votes. Adelaide R Sloan 3 votes. Port Adelaide v Sydney. Sydney J Kennedy 1 vote. Port Adelaide T Boat 2 votes. Sydney B McGlynn 3 votes. Geelong v Fremantle. Geelong J Selwood 1 vote. Fremantle N Fife 2 votes. Geelong H Taylor 3 votes. West Coast v Collingwood. West Coast S Butler 1 vote. West Coast L Shuey 2 votes. West Coast M Pritis 3 votes.
So, Matty, it's kicking in. So right now you're leading the Brownlow Medal with 3 rounds to go. You nervous, mate?
I am now, yes. I think the next 3 games are a little bit quiet, but yes, nervous is a bit of an understatement. Yeah.
Did you come here tonight giving yourself a chance?
Not really, no. I was really hoping for Joel Selwood. He's been so good for so long, 2-time All-Australian captain, and I was really hoping for him, so hopefully he can come home strong.
You're still hoping for Joel, or are you hoping you can hang on?
Well, it's, yeah, Joel's a fantastic player, and I'm a little bit embarrassed, so it's, we'll see how we go.
Now, just quickly, Ashley's at home. I know you're due to have your second child, I think, in January, so how do you think she might be feeling right now?
Yeah, she'll be a nervous wreck, and it's probably part of the reason she's not here, but she's a beautiful girl, so I'm sure she'll be sporting.
Good on you, Matt. Well done. You've made a great run, and who knows what's going to happen over the next 3. I've got to ask you one thing. Can you get one more vote or not?
I don't think so.
He reckons he's done and dusted. He might have enough. Who knows? There are 3 rounds to go in the 2014 Brownlow.